Hello everyone, Brendan Snyder here. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to take a look at a new wave of British heavy metal band, Tygers of Pan Tang. This is a box set that collects their MCA years together. It's got 4 studio albums and then it's got a 4th bonus disc of BBC sessions, which is pretty cool. A little background on the band. They formed in 1978 as part of the new wave of British heavy metal, along with bands like Iron Maiden, Def Leppard, Saxon, groups like that. So they helped spearhead that movement. Their first album did come out in 1980. The band name is taken from a Michael Moorcock fantasy series location, or at least the part Pan Tang is on it. And the original lineup was formed by Rob Weir on guitar, along with Richard Laws on bass, Jess Cox on vocals, and Brian Dick on drums. And they originally signed to Neat Records, who was a label that was helping to spearhead the new wave of British heavy metal, releasing a bunch of singles and things like that until ultimately MCA Records, the major label, came along and signed them. So we have this box set that collects their first 4 albums. There's the back side again, and the spine of it. And as you can see, it's a clamshell box that just lifts open like that. And the first thing that we've got on top is this booklet, which is pretty cool because a lot of these album collections that are coming out don't have a booklet or anything. And when they're doing the vinyl replica art, they eliminate all the inside booklets and things that the jewel cases normally have. And so it's a little, depressing to not get that stuff. But here it's been collected into this booklet with a nice history, some cool, album art, single art, things like that. And I think it's really well done here, which makes this more of like a box set than, just straight up album collections. So the first album that they made with Jess Cox on vocals was this one here, Wildcats, and that came out in 1980. The CDs just slide right out, replicating the album art. There's no sleeves. There's the back side of it. But before the next album that they did, Spellbound, they added a second guitar player, John Sykes. John Sykes being famous for having been in Thin Lizzy and later joining White Snake and then forming Blue Murder. So he's probably the most famous member of the group that brings him a lot of notoriety still to this day. And they did this album here, Spellbound, but Jess Cox had a falling out and he left, and so they replaced him with John Deverell. He was from Persian Risk, another new wave of British heavy metal band. So they have a new vocalist, new guitar player by this time in 1981. They make a second record with that lineup called Crazy Nights. There's the back side of that. But ultimately, John Sykes leaves at this point, and they make a 4th and final record for the MCA label, The Cage. And this one here, they replaced John Sykes with Fred Purser, and they had a semi-hit with a cover song called Love Potion No. 9. But, and then unfortunately they had a falling out with their record label at that point because they wanted them to do more cover songs and the band didn't want to do that, so they did disband in 1985 there. This is the 5th disc, the bonus disc that comes with it. It's a collection of BBC recordings from 1980 to 82. And the first one is recorded in 1981, and it's got Take It, Rock and Roll Man, Blackjack, Gangland, Slave to Freedom, Hellbound, Raised on Rock. The next show is a Friday Rock show from 1980, and it's got Euthanasia, Don't Take Nothing, Wildcats, and Don't Touch Me there. Then the next one is the Reading Festival in 1982, Lonely at the Top, Blackjack, Making Tracks, The Actor, Slave to Freedom, and then that semi-hit Love Potion No. 9, the cover song. And there's only 2 tracks that repeat on this, Blackjack and Slave to Freedom, so for the most part you can listen to this all the way through. I never like it when they put a bunch of live recordings on one disc and a whole bunch of the tracks repeat. This one, for the most part, it's straight through with different tracks, so that's a pretty cool thing to get. And that's the box set. As I said, the band did disband after the release of that 4th album. They did do a reform from 85 to 87 and then ultimately disbanded again, where they finally reformed again in 1999. They've had a bunch of various lineups over the years until 2009, where they did solidify And then finally in 2019, they put out this new release here called The Ritual, and I'm going to be doing a review of this, so keep an eye out for it. And it's a really great record here, and this lineup that they're doing things with that they've had now for the last 11 years is really great. All right, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, and I hope everyone has a great day. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.